not kidding right now when we bring on Bob Chapman. He is the executive editor of the International Forecaster newsletter. He comes to us every Monday morning to help us make sense out of a senseless reporting that we're getting on television right now of how good the economy is. It's getting better. It's getting better. Well, Bob Chapman, thank you for joining us from theinternationalforecaster.com. Is the economy booming now? Can we go back to sleep now, Bob Chapman?
The answer is no. And what we're seeing is an orchestrated effort, pressure being put upon parties to make statements that would lead one to believe that the corner has been turned on what they term a recession, which is really a depression. And I see that even Nouriel Roubini is wavering a little. And when you're in a university as a professor, they can put a lot of heat on you. And there are a few who disagree. Paul Krugman's one of them. And but the bottom line is this. This is a part of an orchestration. Now, there's reasons in the future why orchestrations take place. You have to remember that the elitists in New York and Washington and Europe, they have people working 24/7, thousands and thousands of people in foundations and groups and within government and so on and so forth, who are planning our future for us. And they have decided that there's some pretty nasty news coming down the pike here in the next little while. And so what they do is they run the stock market up, and they run gold and silver down on a temporary basis in order to make people think that things are just terrific. And then when you have the increases in the market and the decrease in gold and silver, when this nasty news comes and the market goes down, it'll go from 8,200 to 6,600, hopefully, and not go any lower.
Really?
And
you think that we might be still going back to 6,600? I thought we were out of that little quagmire.
No, we're going back. And gold, they got down to 868, and 858 to 868 is the band for the 200-day moving average, which is important for a lot of reasons, technically as well, fundamentally. And the government is trying to break that line, so to speak. And this morning they haven't been successful because gold's up over $10. Gold may test that area again. Technicians, wavists, cyclists, about 75% of them just recently, when gold was slightly higher, said that they thought gold would go lower. These are the same gang that have been wrong about every call that they've made in the last 5 years. And so we'll see. You know, the minority is usually right. The majority is usually wrong. And in that case with the technicians, I think they're going to be wrong again. But anyway, I think that what we're seeing in markets is a reflection of government, smoke and mirrors, propaganda, everybody jumping up and down at the same time, the banks and brokerage firms taking away the borrowed stocks from those who are short and forcing them to cover over the last 3 weeks. Nobody knows about that. I do, because I know people in the brokerage industry have told me what they're doing.
Okay,
because I was in that industry for 28 years.
And let's talk about what people in the brokerage industry are telling you right now. I mean, are they scared to death? Are they hanging by their fingernails? Are they giving up their portfolios? Are they getting ready to jump out of windows? Are they checking their insurance policies? What are those people doing?
I would say 5% of them are doing that. The other 95% are going along with the program as they always do, because all they're interested in doing is making money. They could care less about the client. Believe me, I was in that industry for a long time.
Yeah, but they also have a portfolio. I mean, are they not concerned about their own losses?
I don't think they believe that the market's going to go down again. And they think that a rabbit is going to be pulled out of a hat, and it's not going to happen. Structurally, systemically, the whole financial and economic system in the world, never mind America, is in great jeopardy. I mean, you don't have to be even intelligent to figure it out. Unemployment under U6 is just under 20%. Now, they're trying to tell us it's 8.5%. Their own figures.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've never seen that figure 20%.
Well, actually, I came up with 19.2, and John Williams came up with 19.8.
Whoa.
Using the old system of gradiating unemployment that was in place in 1980 before they Mickey Mouse the system. That's what the real number is. And U6,
oh man, that's horrendous.
The government U6 figure that they admit to, with all the Mickey Mouse stuff going on in the formula, is 16.2%.
Okay, what's a U6
not
figure?
Not 8.5. But there's all the other factors. Banks aren't lending as much as they should. We have to bail out everybody in the financial industry, the bigger firms, because they're all broke. They were all involved in massive fraud. Nobody's going to jail. In fact, I haven't even heard that Madoff's going to go to jail, and that decision should have come down this past week. So I don't know, maybe they'll send him to the federal government to work there to help them to catch scam artists. I don't know. They'll think up something like that.
Now, wait a minute.
But
wait a minute.
anyway,
let me go back to, you said a U6 number. What is a U6 number?
Well, there's a current unemployment figure. That's the one you see in the newspaper, 8.5. And then they have a U6 figure, and that is all the people who are out of work and who have exhausted their state unemployment benefits and who are, quote, discouraged. Now, there's another figure called U3, and this is unemployment, no checks, discouraged since 1990. That's 18 years. And there's a lot of people been out of work for 18 years. Believe me, that figure's 25%.
Well, then let me ask you this. Why don't we hear that on CNN? Why don't they tell you the U6 or the U3 number? What are we hearing? What is the so-called U number that we're hearing on television? The 8.5%.
I got to tell you the truth. I don't know what that U number is.
But it probably has one.
It doesn't matter. But the point is, to answer your question, very important, the media is owned by Wall Street and banking and under pressure from government, and they do what they're told, or they lose their job. You're just like the economist and research analyst in a mutual fund, brokerage firm, bank, insurance company, large corporation. You step out of line and tell people the truth, you're out of a job. And this is why, historically, economists and analysts have been wrong two-thirds of the time. That 62.5% of the time, they're wrong because they're forced to give the wrong decisions. And that spreads throughout the entire spectrum of business and government work in America. I mean, if you're a policeman and they want to federalize you, if you speak out and say, I don't want to be federalized, they'll walk up and whisper in your ear, you better or you're not going to have a job. This is the pressure that's put on people.
That's right.
That's why America's headed towards revolution.
And speaking of federalize, we need to talk about federalizing the banks also. But you say that you've been talking in your latest newsletter, you predicted this in 1964, and you say anyone with assets had better have them in gold or you're going to lose them. We'll be right back and see if he really means this after this 4-minute break.